Bailey's EUR Web Spotlight, and I am so excited because I am a fangirl. I got a mad crush on this man. He is the master of funk. Snoop Dogg says he is the definition of cool, and yes, he is. And he gave us 7779311. Okay, I know I can't. Shut up. The bird, Jungle Love. It's Morris Day in the building.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you for honoring us with your presence and kicking it with us today.
Hey, well, thanks for having me. How you doing?
I'm good. And you got all kinds of things popping right now. You got a new single that just dropped, right? Head
Yes.
Rush with all gold Trinidad James. You recorded it in Snoop Dogg's studio, and you are featured in the season premiere of TV One's Unsung. What's up? Are we seeing a resurgence of cool?
You just really seeing, just me keeping busy and doing what I do, and just always trying to, keep it fresh and just exploring my life and career.
That's a beautiful thing. Now, is it hard coming back like this?
No, I mean, really, I've had a lot of time. Normally, a year ago, I would have been, traveling all year long on stage, but so I really had time to really just delve into some different things, and explore some different things. So
Because
this is a product of it.
yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Well, we got to talk about this cool thing because look at you. You haven't aged a day. I want the secret.
Hey, you know what it is. It's how we do. That's what it is.
I need to do like how you doing. But back in the day, I mean, you rocked the zoot suits from the 20s and 30s. You had the cane, you had the little pimp walk, and you had some dope lines. I mean, the youngins could learn from you, like, your lips would make a lollipop too happy. So this persona, that cool persona that you had, how did you come up with that, or did you just wake up like that?
Hey, well, it was in my DNA. I just had to identify it. It was a process of evolution. I was a drummer, and I had no plans of being a lead singer. We went through a handful of lead singers for the time, and nothing worked out. So Prince was like, "Why don't
Wow.
he was like, "Why don't you do it?" I said, "I don't know how to lead a band." He said, "Just be cool." He said, "Put your hand in your pocket and be cool." So I took that to heart and just kind of built on that concept.
And yes, you were and are. Speaking of bands, what happened to bands? I mean, you think about your music had us out on the dance floor, all that energy, bass lines and the guitar solo and the drums and the keyboard. And now we got the synthesizer. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I prefer band, but I stand accused of sometimes using the computer. But I'll say this, what happened was really recording budgets. And
Yeah.
I can kind of blame it. I love Hammer, but I can kind of blame it on MC Hammer because when he
Ooh,
came out,
spill
when
the
he
tea on MC Hammer. Uh-oh.
yeah, when he came out with Can't Touch This, I mean, the brother did his album in his bedroom on a computer and for just a for hundreds of dollars, and it sold millions of copies. And after that, the record companies were like, you know what, we're not giving these folks buckets no more. They're going to have to deliver what MC Hammer gave us on a budget, and that was the beginning of the end for bands on the African American, on the black side, I should say.
Okay, MC Hammer, you were so wrong for that.
Yeah, you so wrong for that, Hammer.
So let's talk very briefly about your relationship with Prince. I mean, y'all rode together since Grand Central, the first band in high school, but it was a complicated relationship. He was controlling, we hear. A lot of people said he was jealous and competitive of you. And then things happened like Purple Rain, where you co-starred. You brought the comedy, you brought the funk, you brought the energy. It made $70 million. Now, I don't know if Prince, rest in peace, my purple Prince, we miss you. But I don't know if Prince had anything to do with that, but had to have you feeling some kind of way. You walked away with 50G. So talk to me about your relationship with Prince.
Well, it was a complicated relationship. I'm not a complicated person. I'm pretty straightforward, pretty easygoing. Don't hold grudges and all that kind of stuff. But he's a very complicated person, and he was not an only child, but in the business, in his world, he was an only child. So he was like, "It's mine, mine. you can't have it. I get all of this. You get a little bit what I want you to have. And that's pretty much how he was, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So now you have brothers and sisters, so you rolled it a little differently, right?
Well, he had brothers and sisters too, but like I said, you know, in his adult world, he was an only child. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And that's the only syndrome that I can really relate that to. You know?
Yeah. Now, what was your last moment with him? What were his last words to you before he left us?
Hey, his last words to me were "I love you," and
Wow.
yeah, and
That's
that
beautiful.
yeah, it was, and I had never heard him talk like that, so that was a shock to me, and it also made me walk away from Paisley Park that night, wondering what just happened.
Wow.
And
It was
that was
almost like he knew, like, because you want to say, I love you to the people. You don't want to leave without saying, I love you to the people that you love. And he
exactly.
did that.
Yeah,
Wow.
he never said that
Wow.
to me before, and that was 2 months before he passed, and
Mm.
it just left me, like in a headspace when I left there. I was like, what was that? What just happened?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it definitely was love. I mean, it was a brother love of all time.
Sure.
Speaking of time. So in your autobiography, On Time, A Princely Life in Funk, which
Yeah,
is fire. Everybody
yeah,
needs to get it. You talk about one night when you rolled up to his house in a blizzard, knocked on the door, tried to give him an excuse to get some coin, to get some coke. And
yeah.
then he passed away allegedly from an overdose of fentanyl. So drug abuse. Talk to me about that. What an irony. Both of
Irony,
you struggling with that.
irony indeed, because he was very prudish about that kind of thing. Most of his adult life that I know about. So it really struck me as odd that that was what happened to him. And I only wish that he could call me, or somebody could have called me, because I went through it at an early age,
Yeah.
where my body could recover. He went through it later in life, where you're a little more fragile and susceptible to you know um, not being able to recover from that type of thing. So
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
ironic. Like you said, I showed up at his house in a blizzard, no socks on, no coat on. I come up
No
in there,
socks though.
ankles showing, and I'm like, he didn't even catch on, but our manager at the time, Steve Fargnoli, was there, and he was like, Morris didn't have any socks on. It's below zero house. I
You
can
were
laugh at it
you were
now.
thirsty. You were
Yeah,
thirsty.
I can laugh now, but it wasn't funny then.
Did you get the money though?
I got the money.
And you got the coke.
I got some drugs. Unfortunately, but damn.
Well, your autobiography is full of like some really incredible stories. Just tell us one more. And I know you got to go, but give us one more.
Oh, I don't know. One more story. The big food fight in Ohio, is a story where for some reason, I don't know, Prince he was this character, and sometimes he was super serious, super quiet. Sometimes he was a comedian, but this night we're on stage, and he decides him and his band is gonna start throwing raw eggs up on stage
That is messy.
while we're performing. And hit a couple of our guys, and just got some shit started. And then we come off stage, and he's threatening us like, we did it, but you better not do it to us. And
Ooh.
you know what saying "don't do it" means? That means do it to me. So we put on these big trash bags with holes in them over our heads, and we throwing eggs, and he's on stage trying to sing "Do Me Baby," and eggs is flying up there, and he came off the stage livid at us, and I'm like, dude, what are you mad about? You started this shit.
Oh, yeah. The book is amazing. People definitely got to check it out. Well,
Yeah.
before we go, see, I got an idea. I think we could start it here.
Okay.
I want to do a TikTok challenge for the bird. Show me a little bird. Just do it once.
I'm with that. Let's TikTok that.
See, you got the moves. So I think that would be fire.
I think you're right.
Well, listen, thank you so much. What an honor. What a legend you are. You look fabulous. I love what you're doing. Everybody, make sure you check out Head Rush, Unsung, and the book On Time, A Princely Life in Funk. It's on Amazon.com and probably many other places, right? But I wish you all the best, peace, love, and thank you for all the funk and the magic you have given us throughout the years. We love you.